Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am back with a speed build of a small house or cottage for a witch, specifically a good witch. I was kind of thinking of a space that was for a really wholesome, good sim who happens to be a spellcaster, and I thought that that would be very appropriate for the month of October. I've been doing some more occult builds this month, as it is the month of Halloween, which is my favorite time of year. And I think I did one other witch build this month. I did something for a swamp witch, but I liked the idea of something just a little bit more cozy and wholesome. So that is what we're doing here today. If you do like this build and you would like to download it, by the way, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. And you can see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen what lot I'm building on, which is Glimmerbrook Watch in the world of Glimmerbrook, which of course came with the Realm of Magic game pack. So this is the general shape I'm going to be going for. I have a small entryway on the front of the building. I'm actually going to be making this little bump out where I'm going to be putting the door here a little bit smaller. It was a bit of an experimental build where I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted the shape to be like, but I kind of had an idea. So I do push things around quite a bit and change out the windows a lot. And I actually end up having quite a few textures on the outside of this build as well. I did look up a lot of inspiration, specifically of Tudor inspired homes, to get some ideas of some exterior looks or combinations of wallpapers. And I ended up using a siding from Get Together, as well as a brick from, I believe, Realm of Magic, and then also some stone that I think is from Cottage Living. So quite a combination here. This is not a limited pack build whatsoever. And then the windows I'm using are a combination of the Get Together expansion pack as well as the Discover University expansion pack. So lots of packs, but I was really happy with how this build came out. I'm really proud of this one, so I hope you will like it as well. I have a couple more videos that I'd like to post before the end of the month that are, I guess, a little bit more Halloween inspired, whether that's occults or there's a house I'm working on that's from a movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, that is very appropriate for this time of year. I hope I can finish it in time so that I can post it before Halloween, but we shall see. But I have a couple of build ideas that I'd like to get out before the end of the month. I'm finally back home. I talked about this in a couple of videos recently, but I was across the country in Nevada, in Las Vegas for a convention. I was there for TwitchCon. I got to hang out with a lot of my Sims friends and meet a lot of you all as well, which was so cool. If you said hi, I really appreciated it. It was so cool to see some of you in person and really make that connection, because I know people are watching these videos, but it's so different meeting you in person. So that was really cool. But with that being said, I am back home now and I'm trying to get some content out for the rest of this month. And especially because it seems like the end of this year is going to be very exciting and busy. There's been some pack leaks lately, which I'm not going to talk too much about here because leaks are kind of sad, because if they are true, it's sad for the team that worked on it. And then if they're not true, people get all excited over something that doesn't happen. But if you're interested in seeing what the pack leaks are, there has been some leaks of the upcoming expansion pack on Twitter. So it's pretty easy to find. But I'm not going to talk about it here until it has been confirmed or denied, I suppose. But if that does end up being confirmed and we get a trailer sometime soon, I will definitely be reacting to it. I'm very excited at the concept behind it, but we'll talk about that later if that comes to be. But anyway, the shape of this house is really coming together now. I just wanted to add some bump outs on the upper level to add a little bit more space up there, because it is really small, because I wanted it built into the roof. But I think it worked out pretty well. This ends up being a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and it comes in at 78,535 simoleons. So it's a little bit on the pricey side, but I didn't think it was too bad because I put a lot of details in here. And I also swapped out these windows on the front for these stone ones. At least the border of them is stone. I believe those are also from Get Together, and they're not ones I ever use, but I thought that they were so pretty, so I was excited to use those in this build. Moving on to the landscaping now, I'm grabbing a ton of plants from the Show Live Edit Objects cheat or menu catalog, whatever you'd like to call it, to try and fill in the exterior of this build. It's basically just the items you see in, or the greenery you see around the world, all of the plants you see off lot that are not in the regular catalog. So I'm using a lot of that from Realm of Magic or the Magic Realm, Glimmerbrook, all of that. But I'm also using some other plants from other packs, like the greenery that I have growing up the chimney here is actually from the Discover University pack. I just really wanted it to look a little bit overgrown, but overall pretty like upbeat and happy and like a cutesy, wholesome cottage. So I didn't want it to be like overgrown, swampy, and scary. I wasn't going for that sort of witch or spellcaster, but that is a really fun idea to do as well. And then I grabbed this fence from Debug as well, or from Show Live Edit Objects. That's from the Get Together pack. And I just loved the curved idea on the front of this build, so I ended up having it curve around on both sides. And actually, I find another piece later and curve it into the side of the building as well. And I just think it comes out really cute in the end. There ends up being places for gardening as well as a cauldron out front. I'm actually going to be moving those gardening plots to the backyard and having some planters out front instead. And there ends up being quite a big area out back, but I was just experimenting with the front of the lot here first because I really liked the shape that I created with these fences. So just working on some terrain paint now, getting a lot of dirt down, and I ended up erasing and redoing some of this later anyway because I reloaded and reopened this lot after closing the game down and the terrain paint disappeared. That unfortunately is still a glitch that we have in the game, but here I am just adding some more flowers to get a little bit of color in with this greenery. I also used some of those debug rocks to have a little bit of a pathway and like a place for that cauldron to sit, so it wasn't directly on the grass. And these are those planters that I grabbed. I believe those ones are in debug from the Outdoor Retreat pack, so you're not going to find them in the regular catalog without cheats. I believe you can make them maybe on the crafting table or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I really like them because they're the smaller size, but they are square. But this is going to be the backyard space. I don't fully decorate it right now. I start doing the landscaping and just putting down where I'm having the actual like stone and stuff. And then I'm going to decorate the rest of it at the end of the build after I go inside. But just bringing back a bunch of these flowers and trying to make everything look intentional and like it's got plenty of landscaping. There's nothing that looks too empty. So yeah, just grabbing some more of these plants. I have a lot of pink and yellow in here, that like really soft yellow. And then I really wanted to put a fence against this area, but it was making the railing on the stairs disappear. I was having a lot of issues with the railing both inside and outside glitching out. So you'll see the railing be added and deleted and go back and forth too many times. I tried to cut out most of that footage. Hopefully I got most of it because it was kind of frustrating to watch. But if you notice at any point the stairs don't have a railing, that is why. It's been very glitchy. But this is where I'm working out the floor plan downstairs. The room in the middle there is going to be the bathroom. We have the kitchen in the front of the house, the dining room in the back, and the living room over to the side where I put that fireplace. And I'm just getting some of these archways. I ended up closing it off a little bit more because it felt more realistic for this style of house. And I really liked the style of it. I ended up using a few different wood tones in here, so not everything matches perfectly, but I think that adds charm to the space. So I was quite happy with it. And then we're just painting the floors. I get wood primarily, but I get this stone in the kitchen and in the bathrooms. And then we are starting on decorating the kitchen, which is always my favorite room in any house or apartment that I decorate. I'm using the counter set from Cottage Living. I just thought that this deep brown really matched the vibe I was going for, so that's what I opted for. And those gorgeous windows ended up being in the kitchen. I just think they are so pretty. And I'm not sure if I've ever used them before. And if I have, it's been so long that I don't remember. So I was very excited to do that because it's always nice to build something a little bit different, use some items you don't use as often, and really get out of your comfort zone and explore with building. This is a huge creative outlet for me, like my main creative outlet. So I always get really excited when I get to decorate new spaces and play with different ideas, which is why I love getting suggestions from you all. You leave so many cool ideas that I get to experiment with and build in game. So feel free to leave those whenever you have them. If there's something you'd like to see me build, I want to know about it because chances are I'm going to do it. I stacked up a bunch of books in the corner here. Those are from the Book Nook kit, and I just think they're so cool. They could be all sorts of like spells and potions, recipes for the sim to follow. I have another big cauldron here in the kitchen, and then I hung up some more pots and pans and herbs and all of that. I just wanted the space to feel a little bit cluttered. I was thinking on the idea of like this wholesome witch is they're a little bit disorganized, but they're so sweet. And just really enjoy living this life that they do, kind of secluded here in this woodsy area, but they're maybe not the most organized. They have a little bit of clutter. I didn't overly clutter the space, but I still felt like I achieved the look of this sim having a lot of stuff around. Let me know if you agree when you see this. I wanted to make sure it was still pretty playable, but there's still a lot of stuff around. So over here in the not quite the entryway, like right outside the entryway, I just had a little table here, and I put another one of these paintings, and we'll be doing the entryway in a little bit, and it's pretty crowded in there, but I think it looked so nice. I ended up putting a bookcase in here because we didn't have a lot of space for things that were a thicker piece that comes off the wall, and I thought that would look so cool. And then we have that big mirror with the paintings in front of it. It's a really cluttered entryway, and I think it looks so cool, but it's only a couple of items that lean against the wall, so it's not an issue for routing at all. So I was really excited about that. And then I am just getting some rugs in the different spaces. I know it's probably not a smart idea to have a rug underneath a cauldron, but we're going to pretend that it's okay because I thought it looked cool having that like framing the cauldron in the kitchen. So that's what I opted to do. But here in the dining room, I have another fireplace, these beautiful chairs from the Paranormal Stuff Pack. I also got another little cauldron in here. This one is from the Spooky Day Stuff Pack. It's not functional like the one in the kitchen is, but I think it's a cute item, so I decided to put it in here. And then I just got some like candles and leaves and some other decorations around. So we have some fire pokers, I believe a hanging plant, and I ended up putting a painting up on the fireplace as well. Using the tool mod, you will probably have seen me use that a couple of times in this build to move things around and place them more precisely. Or I rotated one of the pictures in the kitchen to look like it was leaning against the wall. But this is the painting that I raised up in here. It's also from Realm of Magic, and I scaled it ever so slightly as well. I just thought it would be a really cool piece to put on the mantle, so that is exactly what I did. And then I just got some like other decor on the walls, and this is going to be the downstairs bathroom. It has the same fixtures as the one upstairs. I believe they're a slightly different layout, but I didn't show the one upstairs because I thought it was very repetitive. But I used the same tile and like toilet, sink, and shower, so very similar, but I think they look pretty cozy, and I'm just really loving this new tile from Home Chef Hustle. Any chance I get to use it, I have been. I feel like it can work in a variety of interiors. It doesn't look too modern or too old. I feel like it can go either way. So I was excited to use it in this space. And then in the back hallway, I just have a place to hang up your coats, and I believe like an umbrella rack as well as some brooms. I put a lot of brooms in this house. I thought having a variety of choices to use for your Sims to not only do some cleaning, but do some flying around as well would be quite nice. So there's the umbrella rack, and I believe I hang something up on the wall in here as well. Oh, this little painting from the Werewolves pack I thought was so pretty. So I ended up putting one in the kitchen and in the back hallway. And then I put another painting in here. Did I use the same one? I did, just in a different swatch. So that frame is in a few different spaces throughout this house, but I thought that was okay. Anyway, moving into the living room now, I decided to use this couch from Growing Together. I just think it is so cozy and kind of quirky, and I felt like it fit the idea I had in my head of the spellcaster or witch that I had imagined living in this house. And I kind of like that the green of the couch does not match the green of the curtains. I just thought it was kind of fun. I really liked the idea of this like really sweet sim living here who's a little bit all over the place, maybe a little bit forgetful and has too many things and is always losing things around the house. So that was the whole concept. Let me know if that comes through in this build. I'd be very curious to know if that is something you can see in the build, or if you would have not got that vibe without me describing it. I'm always curious on if like the vision in my head is coming out to others the way that I was kind of explaining it, if that makes sense. But over here, I just got a chess table. We had a corner over here that had empty space, and I thought that would be nice to have a skill building area. And then I believe we get some more artwork on the wall. Oh no, I got some more herbs hanging up. Those ones are from Realm of Magic, whereas the ones I hung up in the kitchen are from the Laundry Day Stuff Pack. And I also got some more books down there before we head upstairs. You can see the bathroom's already decorated. And then I thought I was going to put this mirror in the hallway. And I do keep it there for a while, but I ended up having to move one of the doors over, so then there wasn't space in the hallway for it anymore, so I do get rid of it. But this is going to be the primary bedroom. I did raise up the floor, like a platform higher in the window over there to make a better spot for this bed to go against, so it didn't seem like the bed was just floating in the middle of the room. And I cluttered up that shelf with all sorts of stuff, mostly books. We also have a mini cow plant, some spell books, and like all sorts of knickknacks and potions. And I also got a wand in there, and then we're gonna have our dresser and a little side table as well. I just wanted to put a bunch of stuff in here and make it feel lived in and have that sort of cluttered vibe, but still making it a functional house so your Sims can actually navigate. There's not too much stuff in the way. So I put some like cups next to the bed, some used cups you didn't bring down to the sink. I thought that was pretty realistic. And then I'm just grabbing a couple of items to throw up on this dresser, some like an open book, as well as some jewelry and stuff like that. Just grabbing a bunch of clutter pieces, going through all of the categories. I got another lamp over here as well. I think that lamp is really pretty. It's from Vampires. I'm using 2 of them in this room. And I also got a familiar. I went through all of these so many different times trying to figure out which one I thought would make the most sense or look the nicest here, and I don't remember which one I grabbed in the end, but then I'm grabbing all of the brooms and placing them on the wall. So which broom do I want to have today? Do I want the fancy crystal one? Do I want to ride the mop today? You have all of the options, and I just thought that was kind of a goofy idea. And then this is where I'm moving the door around, and I put another mirror in here. Actually, both of the mirrors from Realm of Magic ended up in this bedroom. And I think moving the other door is where I end up moving the mirror in the hallway. But this room over here, I decided to decorate as a nursery because it's so small. You could have decorated it as an office as well. And if you download this house, that's another way you could do this, or just have it as a single bedroom with like one bed. But I was kind of imagining that only one sim lived here, which is this witch that I've been talking about this whole time. But I was thinking maybe she someday really wants to have a child, or maybe she currently is on the way to having a child. Maybe she's pregnant. I'm not sure. But it was a really small room, and I liked the idea, especially because we have a bassinet that came with Herbal Magic that matches the style. So I decided to decorate a little nursery for a future baby. I thought it was a cute idea. And I don't decorate nurseries for like not infants, newborns that often. Ever since we got infants, when I decorate a nursery, it's for an infant with that kind of crib. So it was kind of different and a little bit of fun to do. So that is what I opted to do. And then we are in the backyard adding our planter, or what would you call those? They're not planters, the gardening plots. There we go. And then I also got a table and chairs, which is like a built-in one where it's like sort of like a picnic bench. That one came from Journey to Batu. I also got a bunch of cute stuff out here. So there's birds that can come to visit at the bird feeder or the bird like tree. And then I also got the bunny log and just a lot of cute items out here for the sim to enjoy. And then I ended up getting a telescope as well. But with that, we are heading on into screenshots here momentarily. I really hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching, and enjoy the screenshots. Bye, everyone.